3.5 years ago was the first time you could see this at the beginning of one of my videos. The idea is to have a channel ident, give the channel a bit of identity, put the name of the channel at the beginning there, but I wanted to do it in an interesting way. It's very easy just to put the title in an editing package and have it shown as a title card, but I wanted it as a physical effect, and I also wanted to get across a bit of a message about what the channel was about, all within a few seconds. The fact that we're mixing old and new technology in an unusual and entertaining way. Now, I'd had a few versions of this over the years. Originally it was that zoom in, and then I went to just a plain one, changed the length of it, defish-eyed it, but it's looking worn out. Now I'm filming in 4K. This is in 1080p, and not very sharp 1080p either, so it's time to redo it in 4K. Right, so today I'm going to attempt to reshoot the intro to the video. I've tried this before and it hasn't really worked out, but I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I've got a different machine, put my stool here. I've got a new, well not a new, I've got a different reel-to-reel machine. Let me just bring it over. Bloody hell. God, that weighs a ton. This is the TIAC A344, or A334, one of them anyway. Very common machine, 4-track recorder. Used in a lot of people's home recordings. People had used these for sort of semi-professional type things. This has been sat in the loft since I got it. This is the first reel-to-reel machine that I got. And it got me into the idea. I replaced lots of bits. I made a new cabinet for it in wood and painted it black, and looks pretty neat. Never really got it working properly though. It's got an issue with the braking mechanism. So when you press stop, quite often the solenoid doesn't kick in on the brake, and therefore that one stops, that one doesn't, and your tape just spools everywhere. I tried to get it working and realised it wasn't worth making too much effort with, and got myself a nicer machine, more of a hi-fi machine. This is more of a recorder's machine, see, because you can record track 1 and then go back and record track 2, or record those 3 and that one and dub them to that one, and you know, sort of do multi-track recordings, but it's not exactly ideal for sort of hi-fi. So anyway, right. Now the next thing, this is my thing that I used before to display the flashing messages. Let's just see if it fits on this machine. I originally did this on a different machine, so let's hope it clears the mechanism on this one. That's not going to work. I've got this in 2 parts. I can't remember which reel it was on before. I think it was on the right hand one. That, yeah. So this part goes on here. So there we are. Yeah, tighten that on. So that's on. But then this can go on top of it. To line up. Push those together. The end of this, one of these. Well, I seem to crack that one. That's good, isn't it? Has a sensor. It is that one. I think every time it goes past the magnet, that's what trips it off. So I've got these strong magnets here. Just need that just to clear those. Right. This is not going to work. However, let's plug it in and find out. Now I haven't plugged this thing in God knows what, 5 years or something. Who knows? Very short lead on that. Stick it like that. Right. Here's the moment of truth. Ah, power. Good. Okay, now. Jesus, watch. That'll take your fingers off. I can't see it now. Oh dear. Let's see how far it comes down. Oh, sorry, I can press the buttons. Ooh, that was close. Right, let's switch it on and see what happens. Now, the buttons are at the back of there. Screwdriver or something. This'll do. Right, so this should be able to press the switch. Anything? There we go. Let's try that again. And play. And play. Hello. Ah! It still remembers, look. Oh no, it doesn't. Techmoan doc. Doesn't look very good. The spacing's wrong on this. Ah, nearly works, doesn't it? Just not quite. Oh, look at that. Ah, that's better, that one. Right, well, that seems to work. So, it's not perfect, but it might have to do for the moment. Need some more lights in here. get it all lit up, get it dusted off. I think I'll put a reel on this one, although of course that means that these are going to be in the way, so maybe I'll put magnets around the reel, if that's possible, if I can somehow stick them on, and then it looks like a proper reel-to-reel machine rather than one reel on and one reel off. But yeah, it's sort of getting there, isn't it? Give it a go. You know, that doesn't look bad. That does not look too bad, although the letters aren't quite. The M isn't forming. What is that? Why do you think the M's not forming? I reckon that's because I've broken a bit off, you know. Okay, well let's record it anyway.
Now, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning. The thing that I'm using on this reel-to-reel machine is a bicycle wheel persistence of vision LED message machine. You're supposed to put it on your bike wheel so your bike wheel displays messages. With this one, once I got it programmed, the programmer broke, so I'm unable to change the message on it, but I'm also not getting a very good result with it. I'm adjusting the frame rate on the camera here, and I'm either getting very shaky letters or very smeary letters. I can't get it just to show right, so I decided to try a different machine.
Right, now here's the second one that I've bought, so let's try this one. This one's supposed to be sort of multicolour. It's a bit of a different design. There's the instructions. Okay.
Now, I bought this one a few months ago. I never got round to doing this until just recently. It's a little bit different to the one I've got. It's got these large bits of plastic sticking out either end, which are going to have to come off if that's going to fit on the machine without hitting it. The idea is you're supposed to attach it to your bike wheel with these cable ties. It's got a magnet there which goes across the end, just like the one I've got, which tells it which way up it is. And it takes 3 AAA batteries, which go in this centre part here. Now, I've got to say about these things, they're awful. They're terribly made, horrible, plastic, rubbishy things that will definitely break if you ever took them out on a bike. I only need them to work for a few minutes, which is a good job because that's about all they'll probably manage. Now, I was trying to figure out where do you plug your USB lead into this. Obviously, it's programmable, but I can't find where to plug it in. The instructions were no use at all. There was no information there, hopeless. So I looked all around it and I thought, well, the last place I've looked is in the battery compartment, and sure enough, there it was. That's where you plug your micro USB in. So I plugged the other end of that into the computer, assuming that this would then show us up as a drive and you'd be able to get some software off it. No, nothing there. It doesn't have any software in the box or on the device itself. I had to go hunting for it on the internet. So after a while, I managed to find the software that someone had kindly posted. It wasn't the manufacturer. It's a piece of software for Windows only, but I think I managed to get the message into it, so we'll find out in a moment. But while I was there, I noticed there was much more sophisticated bicycle wheel displays available now. In the few months since I bought mine, you can now get full colour ones that can show proper graphics. So mine is now rubbish, old, out of date, and annoyingly, I've just spent all this time with it. But never mind, let's try and get it going anyway. I'm going to tape it to the other one, which is probably not the smartest way to do it, but it'll work, and let's give it a go.
It can only go horribly wrong, can't it? So let's have a go. Okay, well, that's all right. Let's just let's move that up a bit. Give it another go.
Okay, so it might be a little bit out of date now, but at least it's working. And even if I had one of those graphical display ones, I wouldn't know what graphic to put on it because I only needed to display some text.
Right, I've been in the attic. Look what I found. The remote control. So what I can do now, I can start it off camera, and I think that'll look a bit more interesting than me pushing a button, a bit more professional, I suppose. But I do want it to look amateurish as well. You know what I mean, anyway. It's about 12-foot wire, that, isn't it?
Right, so now I had everything set up. It was just a matter of fine tweaking everything, putting the lights in the right position, getting the frame rate right. As you can see here, if I set it really slow, you get a nice steady image. If you set it high, you get a flickery image that seems to be blanking parts of it out. Trying to get that just right was quite tricky. It did a lot of shots over a lot of time. As you can see with this camera, this one seemed to display a little bit better because of a different frame rate, but I just couldn't get the frame rate to match on my 4K camera and got a good, steady, persistent image. but I'd try lights in different positions, and I even ended up cutting off the arms off the one on the back of it to give it a little bit more stability. But in the end, all that it required was just a lot of persistence, trying to get the right shot and then do a little bit of editing. So this is the shot that I actually used in the end, as you'll have seen in more recent videos. So I'll let you have a look at it on the camera itself. So this is the 4K version. So I'm starting it with the remote control. Notice I've got quite a slow frame rate. I like the way the letters are all swirling around and then go suddenly solid and appear there, and that's quite nice. But I've got it very slow, the frame rate on that one, as you can see here. Let's do it again. So I press play, you can see spins around and then all of a sudden they just fix in position. So I really like the way that works. So that's the one I ended up using, but I had to do a little bit more editing to it on the actual video intros that you've seen, and that's because I started in black and white. I thought that would be nice, and as soon as the letters fix in position, I then get it to go into colour, and I've also got it sped up at double speed. So you can see here I've got the speed at 2 times, and if we go on the colour there, we've got all the colour taken right down and off, and that's just up to the point when the letters pop into position, and then the clip split at that point, and then it's still at 2 times speed afterwards, but it's in full colour. And then of course we've got that to tie in exactly with the previous sound effect that I'd used on the earlier intros, just to give a bit of continuity. So let's have a look. And that is how you create 5 seconds worth of video. Yes, it would be a lot easier to type the title into an editing package, but where's the fun in that?